Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Joining me today is Shekhar Iyer as we take a look at various political development. Shekhar Iyerji, Namaskar and welcome to PGurus channel. How are you, sir?
Namaskar, Shekhar Namaskar. Well, there are three things engaging us at this moment. Last Wednesday, when we had our Hindi show, we broke that story that, in fact, even if Tianjin meeting of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization summit, gave that kind of optics with Putin, Xi Jinping, and Modi together. And that optics was a kind of a message to President Trump. We said that doors are open, some negotiations are going on, some back channels are working, and that our foreign minister, Jaishankar, is involved in some kind of a very, very crucial assignment given to him by the Prime Minister to somehow see that the India-US business and trade negotiations are again restarted. We said that. And what we have seen is this last few days, there has been more statements coming from some of the aides of President Trump, sometimes very harsh, sometimes very critical of India. But India has held its own. It has not responded in any way, accepting that it responded to the comments made by the trade advisor. Apart from that, it has not. But yesterday we saw, that is on Friday, in the Oval Office, Trump, when he met the media, he said that there is nothing to worry about. India and US have a special relationship, and he thinks greatly of Prime Minister Modi. I will always be friends, but I don't like what he is doing at the moment. And then, there are moments like this, basically indicating for the first time, after so many weeks of this tension building up, after he announced a 25% tariff, followed by another 25% because India buys Russian oil. So first time you saw that 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 there was some kind of a change, a kind of a thaw, as some saw it, that he too is keeping his options open, that the doors have not closed. And so that is why today Prime Minister Narendra Modi responded to Trump's observation. That's very interesting. This is the first time Modi has responded to Trump, after the imposition of tariff. So first time Modi said, look, we appreciate, rather, yes, indeed, both the countries are, they have a special relationship, they have a great way to go, and that he appreciates and reciprocates the positive assessment made by Trump. Now, this is a very, very positive thing that has happened, Shreyaji, after the, of course, this has not anyway lessened some of the other comments that keep coming, because again, Trump has said, that something to that effect, because before he said this, he had posted a picture of Prime Minister Modi, Xi Jinping, and Putin walking together, and he made that comment, looks like we have lost India and Russia to deepest and darkest China. May they have a long and prosperous future together. This is something like that old Tamil song, sir. 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗿𝗏𝗂𝗏 𝗏, where, a person, he says to his lover who has left him, wherever you are, may you live happily. 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗏𝗏 𝗏 type. I don't know what is that, what could be a comparable Hindi, that may you live happily. It doesn't matter. Our love story has come to an end. That kind of tone. But uh, after that, the way the Prime Minister Modi has responded, it looks like that things are probably, back on the track, though nobody's jumping to any conclusion. It's going to take a while. We said it last Wednesday. We are repeating it. That, sir, also, in the important part was Prime Minister went to the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit. We saw those visuals. We saw those optics. But our Prime Minister did not travel to Beijing from there, because though he was also invited to watch that parade to commemorate, China, the end of World War II in China, and the Japanese departing from China. In fact, seeing the parade, even Trump, tried to say, "Look, we did a lot for that moment. We got the imperialists out of China. American soldiers played a part." So I am told, sir, I am told, even as Prime Minister Modi was talking to Putin and Xi Jinping, a channel was kept open with the American establishment and with key American aides of the President Trump to convey to him, look, this is a different thing. This doesn't mean we have, taken some drastic move to move towards China or embrace Russia in a hitherto new way. This message was conveyed, and that was the purpose of Jaishankar not traveling to China along with the Prime Minister, staying back and working the phone lines. And I am even told he has met some key officials during this period, though I am not in a position to disclose where and how he met the key American officials. But the message was given that 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 a message that Jaishankar said it today after Prime Minister responded on X platform. Today, Jaishankar also mentioned that Prime Minister Modi attaches importance to our partnership, and they have a very good personal relationship, a, a very good rapport. So what has happened is this whole developments, you know, Trump firing rockets and then India keeping quiet, because India has always never responded, excepting to some of the what the aides have said. Otherwise, from India has been the responses have been very low key, and not trying to appear that we are out to pay them back in the same tone and tenor. That has been avoided. That is largely because the maturity of how we approach these things. When I say we, I mean our foreign office, the prime minister, our foreign minister. Because this is not done. You don't have to get into that, because you have to, as they say, that जम के करो जंग, लेकिन बट इतना गुंजाइश रहे कि कभी दोस्त बन जाए तो शर्मिंदा ना होना है. I mean, you fight to the hell. I mean, you fight in a way, but see that you leave some scope. When you become friends, you don't, you don't, you are embarrassed by what you said when you were fighting. That those words don't come back to you or is played back to you. So, and also, there is two important things that have happened, sir. One is Prime Minister is not traveling to US to address the UN General Assembly. He's avoiding going there. And because things are not yet ready, because if you were to go there again, travel to America, then there could be a pressure to have a summit level meeting with President Trump. And when things are not yet ready yet, जो कहते हैं ना अभी पक्का नहीं है, things have not fructified yet, and the trade talks will have to again get going full swing. So he is avoiding going there, and instead he has deputed Foreign Minister Jaishankar to address the UN General Assembly, which is the annual special session where world leaders arrive to address the UN General Assembly. And I understand Jaishankar will be addressing the UN General Assembly on September 27. And also, Modi will not be attending that virtual summit called by Brazil. He is not addressing that, what has been called by Brazil for this, to look at the situation caused by the Trump's actions. Instead, again, Jaishankar will be participating in that virtual summit. Now, One thing is clear, sir. Prime Minister Modi is not standing on prestige or on a ego about resetting Indo-US ties. Now, I can see two kinds of criticism have come after Prime Minister's tweet. One says, look, there's no point responding on tweet. You just, the Prime Minister should have, just picked up the phone and talked to Trump. And that is the way the situation will be easily solved. This is one view. The other view is, why are you going out of the way to please Modi? Because there's no need for Modi to respond to Trump now, because Trump was not addressing him or was tagging him. Should personal equations be be given so much of importance when there has been so much of humiliation of India? And after all, did not just 2 days ago only the US Commerce Secretary Hazratbal said India will say sorry and come back to us to negotiate? So if they are blowing hot and cold, why should we rush and jump? So there are two views. One view is just pick up the phone and talk, because a lot of things are at stake, particularly in terms of the impact of these tariff on our exports and to those industries who are involved in these exports, and that job losses that would cause. There are a lot of things being said. The other view is, why are you even engaging at this stage? What has Trump done so far? And you do not know Trump. You don't know what he is going to do next moment. So these are the things that is coming out, sir. And but one thing is clear, just a week ago, the things looked very, very dark when it came to, it looked like India and America have parted ways. And maybe at this stage, at least still, Trump is at the helm. It'll be the differences look difficult to reconcile. But today the picture is, and we have always maintained, Sree, that Indian-American relations are too deep, and they involve several strategic and economic interests, and they act as a balance and a counterbalance. And if this is something that India has always kept in mind, even in this fresh engagement with China and as well as with Russia. So therefore, I think this is a positive news, because there is so much, and many of our viewers would appreciate that nothing should be done in haste when it comes to India-American relations, because in terms of the geopolitics that we see today, yes, our relations will have to improve with China. And even after that, we have had the army chief also say that border problem is the real problem between India and China. And we need to be vigilant, no matter the recent improvements in relationship, including Prime Minister's visit to China after a long gap and his bilateral talks with Xi Jinping. There are a lot of, there is a lot to give us a picture of hope, but at the same time, we cannot drop caution. So given this scenario, sir, maybe the days to come or the weeks to come, maybe things are going to pick up, and maybe in a couple of months, we could see a trade agreement in place. Sree Iyer.
Thank you so much, sir. But unfortunately, the weaponization or to try to vilify Indian Americans has actually started. This has been going on even from during the Biden administration. You saw how much the caste gate thing happened, caste discrimination lawsuit still going on. So Cisco is fighting it back, and the California Race Department, I think CRD, it's called something CRD. So and they want a win out of this. They have actually changed their complete legal team, but they are also holding out. So California is going to the dogs. Actually, she has gone to the dogs. That's all I can say. I'm in there because I want to fight the good fight. I'm not just going to go out. And it's a good place. People have not changed. It's some stupid politicians who are doing some bad things. That's all I can say. Sir, let's go to the next topic, which is vandalism in Hazratbal shrine. In a situation like this, where it's just the national emblem that is part of a marble carving what do you call that thing? I don't know the name,
Plague.
exact name for that.
It's a plague.
Plague. And you go and take a stone and try to break it up. Sir, I hope it's the entire population of Kashmir is not thinking along these lines, because if they are, then the response has to be different. If it is a small minority, then the response has to be different. Tell us from your view what is happening and the situation from the ground.
Sir, this plague was because the Hazratbal shrine, which is a very important shrine, because it is a relic. It has a relic of Prophet Muhammad, and Government of India has been spending money for its upkeep. So there was recently a renovation undertaken. So there was this plaque put up, which had the emblem of Government of India, because government had spent a lot of money on this project and its upkeep, and nobody was fussing about it till suddenly last Friday you found people just going in and saying, "How can this is idolatry? This is against the principles of Islam." Therefore, somebody took a stone, as you mentioned, and did it. And there is a lady who is heading the Waqf board. She is the chairperson, 𝗟𝗘𝗙𝗥𝗙𝗏 of the Jammu Kashmir Waqf board. She has, she has asked police to act and file an FIR. But unfortunately, that issue has been made both by Chief Minister Umar Abdullah as well as PDP leader, opposition leader Mehbooba Mufti, as this is actually a case of hurting the sentiments, religious sentiments of Muslims of Jammu Kashmir, saying that, like Umar Abdullah says, what was the need of putting this emblem in a religious place? And they are comparing with, like, a lot of work has been done in whodunit renovation also, but whodunit Shrine Board, the board there doesn't have a Ashoka emblem. Along with the emblem of the Shrine Board, there is no Ashoka emblem there. So why was it put here? So this is actually the center, read BJP, so effort to somehow do something so that they'll get political windfall in other parts of the country. And they are even mentioning that we are going into elections. And this is about, it's a violation of a religious place. It's a violation of Islamic principles. And why should mosques or shrines, which are not government institution, these are religious institutions, why should this be this Government of India emblem? Now, the whole thing is they are trying to make it out as if it is a case of religious blasphemy. But the point is, Kashmir doesn't follow what you call Wahhabism. Kashmir is the home for, there are several Sufi shrines. There are several graves, mazars of several Sufi saints that are highly held in esteem, and people go and offer their homage. That is not strictly Islamic practice. That is not accepted by the conservatives. They say that you should not pray anybody other than to Allah. So nobody makes a about it. Nobody says, you remove all the graves of several Sufi saints in Kashmir because it violates tenets of Islam. Nobody is saying that. So there is as I can see it, sir, at a time when they are talking of restoration of statehood, at the time they are saying, no, why is the statehood being delayed and all that. An incident like this, again, this is going to delay that issue further. That means these sentiments, because this cannot be seen apart from the sentiments that have been promoted and encouraged, the sentiments of separatism and sentiments of even extremism. Because this is not an innocuous, one can say, an outrage. There seems to be a pattern. Now, Umar Abdullah being the chief minister, and with the opposition trying to whip up a public sentiment on this, even he is forced to say, look, what was the need for that there? And of course, Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha has come out strongly. Now they want case. And of course, this lady, because many people are against this lady, who is the chairperson. I mean, they are saying that why should that is the Darakshan Andrabi. She is the chairperson of the Jammu Kashmir Waqf Board. She has said, look, we are going to identify the people and their entry will be barred into the shrine. And she wants, the Public Safety Act to be invoked and action should be taken because they have caused damage to the national emblem. But one can see that an effort is to show that the entire Kashmir Valley, he feels very, very outraged by this plague. That is why this action is justified.
So one question, sir. When was the 𝗏𝗏𝗏 plaque established? Which year?
No, sir. It was, they have done recent renovation. It has also undergone renovation. They have put up a board. They say that there is no Ashoka emblem there in Jammu, in Katra. So why should you put it here? This is the argument our Jammu and Kashmir politicians are giving. Sir, I want to, this is not directly connected, but another thing has happened. In faraway Kerala, faraway in the sense from Kashmir, Onam, as Onam is a very special occasion. And what do we see is, at a place in Parthasarathi temple in Kollam, they have this floral rangolis or floral column called Pookolam to mark Onam. Now, some people had put a Pookolam with RSS flag and depicting Operation Sindoor. The Kerala police, took action. They have registered a case against RSS BJP workers. Why have you put this floral design of RSS and all that? Saying that, it was agreed by Congress and BJP, that Communists and Congress agreed they will not use Pookolams to give a political message. So this will only create communal problem. Sir, in Kashmir, a national emblem is seen as causing communal problem. Here, Operation Sindoor being depicted in Pookolam is also creating communal problem. Of course, the police says, no, the FIR is not on depiction of Operation Sindoor. It is only on the RSS flag in the Pookolam. Now, I do not know under which law or which rule you can prevent a Pookolam being depicting anything it wants. It's after all an artistic and a creative way of celebrating Onam. I do not know. So therefore, that has also snowballed into a big issue in Kerala. We have had Kerala BJP President Rajiv Chandrasekhar comment on that. But again, sir, the whole thing is, the statehood issue, which they have been saying the statehood will come. In fact, just before this monsoon session started, when Prime Minister and Home Minister had a meeting, back-to-back meeting with President Murmu, it was all speculation was that the bill to restore statehood is coming. And Umar Abdullah said, I do not know when it will happen or it will not happen. But I have been told that in the government of India, the thinking is, if this kind of tendencies, separatist tendencies, an attempt to encourage or restock separatism in some form or the other, trying to do some identity politics, if that is there, that is going to greatly affect. Because the question that comes again and again is, अब जम्मू कश्मीर को statehood देके भारत को क्या फायदा है? If these tendencies will again gain momentum. So because this incident is not being seen as just one plaque being damaged or anything, that mainstream politicians, even after abolition of Article 370, and Article 370, which was upheld by its removal of Article 370 was upheld by Supreme Court. Even after that, the politicians want to use these issues, mainstream politicians, which is in a way which is only going to give fillip to the attempts being made across the border. Basically, sir, the Kashmir problem, they have always said it is Kashmir, but the basic problem is because of religion. Because the valley has a majority population belonging to a particular religion, that is why the whole.
And they managed to drive out people who were not belonging to that particular religion and kill them and rape them and plunder them.
And so, seen in this background, so this issue has again has alarmed a lot of people as to, so why are again these mainstream politicians doing the same thing, which they did all these years? And with so much of central resources going to, see that the state moves on a growth path. Because now the ulta sawal there is this: why should that emblem be there? Had the emblem been there, it would not have been damaged, though we respect the emblem. This is the, yeah, they keep saying this, sir.
So this emblem thing being what is it called, idol worship, it doesn't run. Every country has an emblem. We have a special episode on this coming up soon, viewers, to take a look at it. There has to be some action taken. It's public property. It's your money, my money, taxpayers' money that was spent to build this plaque and to maintain Hazratbal shrine, where it is believed that one hair of Prophet Muhammad, if I remember correctly, is there. And there was a controversy about that also during Nehru's period. It disappeared and then reappeared magically. Hangama, all drama. The mistake that India did was in 1948, when they should have gone and captured the whole of Kashmir. They didn't do that, and to this day we are paying the price. That's all I can say, because there's a statement there. And anyway, let's move on, sir. There's a more interesting stuff that is coming down the way. Viewers, if you have not already got your Sengol, please do consider getting one. It's beautifully done. It is wrapped now because I'm trying to keep it clean. Otherwise, it's a wonderful thing to have in your puja room or on your desk, wherever it is. And if your friends like it, you can show the bottom. There is a QR code and they can order their own. So we are actually shipping now. I encourage all of you to get your own Sengol. Now let's go on to ADMK. One guy quits, TTV Dinakaran. Then it's like cascades into a lot of things. This guy times his press conference at the same time the GST revision is done, as if to mute that. So this is a stage managed stuff. We all know that DMK has a hand in it. Perhaps, I don't know, maybe it doesn't have a hand in it. Let's see what Shekharji has to say. Sir.
Sir, Sengotian is a very, very senior ADMK leader who, cut his teeth in politics, or in, I would say, right from the beginning when the DMK split and MGR, came out of the party in 1972, and set up this ADMK, which later became AIADMK. Sengotian has been there. He has been 9 times MLA. And he also belongs to the same counter community like Edappadi Pandasamy or EPS, or like Annamalai of the BJP. And he has been around for so many years. And he is a person who is seen, he's the only one who has not jumped parties and remained as a loyalist. He has remained. So a day ago, he held a press conference to appeal to EPS that what happened in 2021, how we lost. And after that, we 6 of our senior leaders approached EPS and told him, look, you try to get these people back, because without a unity of various factions of the ADMK, it will be very difficult to win the next assembly elections or the coming assembly elections. And he says at that time also Edappadi did not take the initiative we had suggested. And now also the situation is in the southern districts. Edappadi may be getting crowds. He may be getting good traction, because he has started his campaign for the next assembly election, saying that, under a campaign theme, Makkalai Kappom, Tamil Rathai Mittuvom. We will salvage Tamil Nadu and we will save people. Now, this campaign is drawing crowds, but then Sengotian sort of gave a warning and he said, look, and he set a 10-day deadline to EPS to initiate. So today, EPS has removed him from all party posts. He has not expelled him. He has removed him. Now, yesterday, sir, when soon after Sengotian said this, there was a lot of questions. Thing is, the first question is, EPS has a full control of the party. Sengotian did not say you take all these people. He is saying we will leave it to the wisdom of EPS to decide who should be taken in, who should be left out. We are not saying anything. But let the unity talks happen. Let various factions, sir, more than the leaders whom EPS doesn't like. What about their cadres, their supporters, MLAs backing them? Because in southern districts it's the same, and DMK benefited last time in 21. If the situation remains, this is going to again happen. And the argument of the pro-unity movers is that if we get united, our bargaining chip will increase. The smaller parties who are now doing the fence sitting, they can also. So Sengotian's statement was welcomed by many people, including BJP leader, Nainar Nagendra. So a suspicion came among those who are close to UPS whether this is the backing of the BJP. Because Amit Shah has been favoring unity, but at the same time, publicly Amit Shah took a stand, look, unity issue, we are not going in because it's very sensitive to EPS. It is left to EPS to decide. But since it was said again that is BJP behind this? If BJP is behind this, will again EPS have a rethink as to the course of this alliance? Because we have seen in the last few days, BJP leaders openly speaking, Edappadi as the leader of this alliance. Even Annamalai was told to fall in line. He was told by none other than Amit Shah also that the hour is hour of unity. Our enemy is the DMK. It should not be allowed to come back to power for the sake of people of Tamil Nadu. Our politics is different, but the fact that for 5 years they have been there and people have suffered under worst form of corruption they have seen. Now, one thing is clear, sir, EPS is very sensitive to this unity business. He feels that what will happen to him then if he lets these people in. So after Sengotian made this appeal to EPS, 𝗟𝗏 𝗟𝗏𝗏 welcomed it, saying yes, that Sengotian has the true ADMK blood running in him. He has spoken out of love for ADMK, for MGR and Jayalalitha. And Sengotian recalled that MGR and Jayalalitha have several times taken back the worst critics of the party, and their worst critics have been taken back. Marappom, Mannippom. We will forget it and we will forgive them. Rebels have been taken back. Therefore, EPS should not stand in the prestige because he is now leading the party. He is the general secretary of the party. His leadership is virtually unquestioned. But this is the moment when he is strong. Organization is with him. That why can't he move? But the way EPS responded, this looks like a situation where the only party that can be happy about this will be DMK. Because the revival of the unity issue, along with the fact that without unity, ADMK will find it difficult to perform well in the southern districts. Basically, the Thaw belt. But EPS doesn't think so. EPS feels, no, this one election I must go it alone, and those who have opposed me earlier, I will not go with them. But this has raised the question that when if BJP itself wants this, then what should be the role of the ADMK? And some of the people who are close to EPS, they are trying to say that, look, if BJP is behind it, that means things are not settled. They are constantly raising this issue. But this is something I'm also surprised that, of course, EPS has reasons. He has had problems with Shengoten for a long time, and he has removed him from the key post because as one of the organizational secretary, as well as in charge of E-Road, from where he belongs. Sir, the similar problem with Sir Annamalai also, you have seen Annamalai did not turn up for the core group meeting in Delhi, which was called by Amit Shah and party president JP Nadda. And that has not been taken kindly by Amit Shah. Of course, the reason given by Annamalai, I am told, was because he had too many wedding receptions to attend in Tamil Nadu, so he could not come for this core group meeting, which was supposed to review preparation. Earlier, when Amit Shah had come to Tirunelveli and addressed the party functionaries, the booth level management people, Amit Shah had made it very clear: look, you cannot fight the next elections as a factions. People will have to, and this alliance will have to made to work. After that, Annamalai understood the message given by Amit Shah. Then he made two statements that he also wishes to see EPS as Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. But it was a very half-hearted move. But because he could not accept the fact that the BJP and ADMK went in for an alliance, as decided by the central leadership of the BJP. So, given this scenario, sir, what I feel is the Tamil Nadu situation is again under flux. Because Shengoten, if you remember, said had recently gone to Delhi. He had met Amit Shah and few other leaders. He could not have gone on his own and set this 10-day deadline for EPS without some kind of support from the BJP. If indeed the BJP is supporting Shengoten, then how will EPS going to take it? Because we all thought the alliance had settled down. Okay, EPS will leading the alliance. Now today TTV says that our future is with NDA, but right now we have come out. And he is criticizing Nayanar Nagendran, saying Nayanar is not able to manage. And Shengoten is right. So this churning in the opposition camp is worrisome for the people of Tamil Nadu, because they thought perhaps an alternative is taking shape and it is gaining momentum and strength. Sir.
Each one wants to show that he or she is important, sir, in this. This is always this identity politics that is very, very prominent in Tamil Nadu. And I think these things will settle down, in my opinion. But certainly, EPS is not as powerful a leader as Jayalalitha, or MGR was even more powerful. But even they have seen people leave their party and then, of course, come back. Somewhere he needs to show leadership skills. Sometimes, you have to listen to what Churchill said. Keep your friends close and enemies closer. And that way, they are so close to you that you can hold them in a bear hug and they can't move out of it. And Shengoten is a respected voice. I don't know, maybe he felt frustrated that he wasn't getting any room. There was another time 6 months ago, there was talk that even ADMK could be split and Shengoten could be the new face, and that the two-leaf symbol could be passed on to them. So EPS always has this fear, and I know his son is engaged in politics. So is Nayanar now. His son, given his son a post. I don't know. I don't know if BJP can call itself as a party with a difference in Tamil Nadu when they have things like this happening. Be that as it may, this is all a storm in a teacup. You still have to go face the electorate and win elections. You have to show very powerful messaging. One good crowd in Madurai doesn't mean that all the Devars have now united with you, Mr. EPS. It's only Annamalai was able to cut across all these caste lines and really reach out to the people. It's unfortunate what happened to his equation with the party leadership. Something has gone awry. Let's see if there can be a rapprochement there. So we'll see. This is like this. There are 100 wrong answers to a question. There's only one right answer. That is the right answer that they should be looking for. Sir, we can take questions. If you want to add something, please feel free. Then we can go to questions, sir.
No, sir, we will take questions.
Here we go, sir. First question. Magnet Ranga wants to know, Namaste, isn't it surprising that Amit Shah, the master strategist, hasn't still found a way in Tamil Nadu? Still seems to be chaotic and drifting. Very true.
Yeah, it is. You see, you have leaders and their ambitions, and who sometimes lose the larger purpose or the larger challenge that is before them. So whether it is Annamalai, whether it is EPS, I think this is I mean, unfortunate in terms of that just with 7 months left for the assembly elections, we do not see an alternative shaping up. Sir.
Next question from Venkat. Should Trump be given peace prize for making peace with Bharat's might?
There are several reasons why Trump should be given Nobel Prize.
Next one, again Venkat. Why is TTV Dinakaran praising Annamalai and citing Nayanar?
Well, I see there is some kind of a pattern in this. Basically, I do not know, because there was a talk of Annamalai even leaving the party, forming his own, and probably they may tie up with Vijay. But I don't see Vijay at the moment tying up with anybody. He is on his own path. In fact, he is going to start campaigning, I am told, from middle of this month or so. That in fact, he is finding it that Tamil Nadu police is objecting to wherever he wants to hold his rallies. And he may start from Srinagar, I am told. He may start his campaign in Trichy area with a meeting in Srinagar. But his complaint is that they are not giving him permission. Now, that is that part. But sir, there are a lot of problems in the DMK alliance also. There is a problem in DMK within the party about seniors and juniors. Who is going to get ticket, who is not going to get ticket. There are several issues. But at that time, when you see a situation like this, I hope there is some clarity in this. And if Annamalai stands by the word he has given publicly that he is backing 𝗟𝗡𝗙 this time for one election at least, and if they set their heart actually to see that the opposition unity is not broken because of personal ambitions or personal targets, then DMK could be can be given a serious challenge. Sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Last question. Krishnamurthy wants to know, I agree with President Trump that China is truly darkest place. Hope India and US relationship rises through this choppy phase and emerge stronger.
Well, all indications are, as we have been saying, right? We have never made any doomsday prediction for India-America relations. We have been saying the relationships are too deep, and the interests of both these democracies, they require that they work together. Trade and business, and these are all challenges that keep coming and going. So therefore, if we can move forward, and a lot of diplomacy has to be done in private rather than in public, because that is how you can keep talking. If you have, of course, Shekhar himself went on record to say, look, we are dealing with the president of the United States who does diplomacy in public. That's a challenge, and we are learning, because that's how the situation is evolved. But definitely there is room for optimism. I would say one does feel very hopeful that things will come to a good understanding. It will take time, but I'm not saying something is going to happen, something dramatic is going to happen in the next few days. It's going to take time, because to work out, how America sees India's position, how it appreciates India's position when it comes to India allowing certain products to come into the country, because these are areas where India cannot compromise so easily. Sir.
Thank you so much, sir. And that brings us to a close of today's program. We'll be back with Shekhar ji on Wednesday, same time, 9:30 p.m. in Hindi. Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar.